Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of Total Baloney.
Indubitably.
Yes.
Quite.
Apologies if there's any background noise. It's ARIA Awards night, and my housemate is a big Oz music fan, so there may be some background noise.
Dancing around glasses of water.
Yes, I'm sure there may be some of that. Um, yes, but we all have our own interests, and I'm sure I make a lot of noise with all of my coaster rambling. So I am willing to forgive on a special night for an Oz music fan, and there just may be some background noise. So yeah.
No worries.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm alright. Just been hard at work, just not doing the 9 to 5 stuff.
Ah, yes,
How about yourself?
working 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
Yeah, it's been much the same for me. We're going away for a convention for my day job very soon, so it's been kind of a bit of a grind this week, making sure that we're on top of everything before we're out of office. Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Nice.
I have
Um,
my tickets to Wicked.
Likewise, seeing it on Friday.
You'll see it before me. I'm seeing it on Saturday evening.
Ah,
We are
nice.
doing a little drinks and snackies afternoon on Saturday afternoon and watching the first part, and then we will migrate to the cinema for the second part on Saturday evening.
Sounds like a fucking delight.
It will be fantastic, I'm sure.
Um, what was I going to say? We briefly talked about Dolly there for a second, 9 to 5.
Yes,
Did you happen to see that they did the boat unveiling at IAAPA for, what's it called, Night Flight Expedition?
I
The
did. They
rockin',
look fantastic, don't they?
yeah.
Um, a few things were unveiled at IAAPA actually. One thing that um our good friend Heidi from Trans Australian Coaster Channel messaged me about, and something that I think would be a good point of discussion to start the podcast if we're going to talk about IAPA. Are we concerned about RMC?
I haven't heard any announcements from them for a good long time, have we?
Well, there is a custom Raptor going to Family Kingdom Amusement Park in South Carolina, which
Right,
is I think is fantastic for that park. I will say, I think
sure.
that's a coaster that I know that Swamp Fox is there, and it's meant to be like a surprisingly good wooden coaster. But that's a coaster that's going to put them on the map and get them some attendance from a little bit further than just their local area. So
Yeah.
good for them. Um, but as I think Heidi very correctly said to me, they surely can't sustain themselves off selling a Raptor or two every year.
Well, that's why I think they invented the Raptor as an off the shelf model so that people could spend money with them in
But
at a price point that's, you know, relatively affordable compared to a complete RMC retrack of a Woody.
very
Um,
true. But I still don't think that, particularly a manufacturer that has ambitions to be doing things like the Split Rex, which is now 100% confirmed to be a real thing because they
yep.
had a display of it at IAPA.
Is this for Everland or is this for another
And
one
it's not confirmed to be going anywhere. It's just confirmed that that is a real
model?
model that they do offer.
Sure.
Um, yeah, it doesn't feel like that's a thing. Like they can't be realistically hoping to ever build something on the scale of Steel Vengeance or Iron Gwazi again if the only thing bringing them any revenue is a Raptor or two a year.
Yeah,
Um,
it does make me wonder. But also, they don't announce something until something's ready to go into construction. So there's probably a lot of stuff in the works that they just haven't been able to announce.
I hope so. But like, what have they built in the last few years? Let me have a look on RCDB.
Skull and Hearty, Fire Runner,
Yeah, so it's all very
Raptor based.
Raptors. Fire Runner, Yoi, Skull and
Yoi,
Hearty, Fire in the Hole. So the last hybrid was Wildcat's Revenge,
yep, which
um,
is
2023.
yep.
Um,
Fire in the Hole is not a Raptor, but it's also not a traditional RMC.
yeah, it's very very small
It's like
small scale
it's a
project.
dark ride, really, but you know,
Yeah. Um, so for the last, assuming let's go worst case scenario and say that whatever they're building at Family Kingdom is the only thing they're building in 2026.
mm,
Um, that will be 3 consecutive years where everything they've built is Raptors and Fire in the Hole.
yeah,
Um, which is concerning to me a little bit.
a
I
little
feel
bit.
like I know they're not they're a smallish manufacturer. They're not running the kind of operation um that you see with like Intamin or Vacoma, but
They are high profile.
they're high profile, and you'd hope that they were getting a large scale project at least once every couple of years.
Yeah,
But now this would be 3 years in a row that really I would say they haven't had a large scale project at all, and all that they've been building is their, as you put it, their budget option.
and speaking
Um,
of their budget options, no one's taken up a wild moose yet.
no, and
When we thought that that would be their budget option that people would be chomping at the bit over.
yeah, I think it's a little bit of the wild moose is it's a decent concept. I think it's a little bit too far out there. I think I would have liked them to like to see them build something a little bit more. I know they love to innovate. They love to be different, but it's a bit. It really feels like hybrid pre-lifts the ride.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's just their smaller, funky
Well, that's
little.
they had fully admitted that that was like, you know, for those who love our RMC, like our pre-lifts, it's like
Yeah,
getting all of the best of that in the compact footprint of a wild mouse.
which is
Um,
just such an out there concept that we have no idea if that's even going to be good.
no,
And so I feel like it's not really appealing to anyone because a big park is like, "Nah, we're looking for something bigger." A small park is like, "Well, what if we build it and it's shit?"
yeah,
Like we want to build something that's a little bit more. When you don't have that much money to spend, you've got to make sure that you're getting a product that's kind of tried and tested.
yeah. You would expect maybe a Six Flags or a Gyeongju World or like an established park to maybe get one, and
You
that
need
would
a
be like,
you need a park that's established enough that if it's a flop, it's not going to kill them.
yeah,
But also, the huge parks, the really, really huge parks, are probably not interested in something of that
mm,
scale if they're
they
going to
want
work with
something that's going to
RMC.
wow
So, like,
people.
it's, I really don't feel like there's a niche for it. Um, yeah, I'm a little concerned about the way that they're going over the last few years. I feel like they ran out of parks that were looking for um, woodies to get retracked. Like, I can only name one or two more that I think could do an RMC retrack, like
Mm.
Carowinds.
That what's it called? What's their super rough one called?
Hurler.
Hurler, that's the one.
Yeah, Hurler at Carowinds, I think could definitely get RMC'd.
Yeah.
Um, I can't think of many more. Like, I feel like they ran out of that market. Like other wooden coasters that I think are like have passed their use by date and would be good for RMCing tend to be at parks now that I don't think have the budget to do that.
Mm.
And that they would be, if they really wanted to keep that wooden coaster around, they'd be looking more at doing something like a GCI Titan track
Yeah.
or
Well, I
something
think
like
that's also why they're probably trying to go hardcore on the split Rex, because the T Rex was the pie in the sky for the longest time that just wasn't feasible.
that. Yeah. And now
And so
they've,
they
yeah,
need something that is a thrill model that doesn't rely on an existing Woody infrastructure.
they do. And I really hope for the best for them, because what they've done since arriving on the scene, 15 years ago,
New
has
Texas
been,
Giant.
yeah, incredible what they've managed to achieve in 15 years. Like
Mm.
you go on a website like Captain Coaster and look at the world roller coaster rankings, and the top, 25, 30 is just dominated by RMCs. They're just everywhere.
Mm.
Like I'm pretty sure actually other maybe Velocicoaster's up there, but I'm pretty sure out of the top 5, like 3 or 4 of them are RMCs at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So like people love what they do. Um so I want them to stay around, but I am very concerned um by the state of what they're doing at the moment, because I do agree with what Heidi messaged me in terms of that the sentiment that they won't stay afloat if all they're selling every year is 1 or 2 Raptors.
Yeah.
Um, and I really thought the way that they advertised this announcement they were gonna make it IAAPA, I thought it was the Split Rex. I thought we were gonna get an announcement that a Split Rex was going to Everland or somewhere else. Um, and it turned out to be a Raptor going to Family Kingdom, and I'm like, "Oh, well,
It's not quite the flagship announcement that you wanted.
yeah, that's kind of, ooh, like, that's I don't think that's good for you, and, like, great for Family Kingdom. I think that'll be a fantastic coaster for them. Um, but yeah, not what we were expecting.
Yeah, out of the top 10 in on Captain Coaster, they've got 5.
5 out of the top 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
jeez. They
The
they
only
really
other ones
are.
they've got are Velocicoaster, Age, Ride to Happiness, Tiger,
Yep.
and Maverick.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So basically, it's all RMC and then 3 Intamans, an SNS, and a Mark.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, crazy. Crazy how good they are.
Mm.
So, yeah, I would say I'm a little concerned.
Quite rightly.
Yeah. What else have we seen at IAAPA, though? We got trains for, a few different things, but, notably, um why am I forgetting its name? Tormentor?
Oh, yeah. That's the new Giga Dive, yeah?
Yeah, the world's first Giga Dive going to Six Flags Over Texas. Interestingly, they look like quite narrow, um, dive trains. How many You've been on Draken, how many seats across was it?
Quite wide. Like, surprisingly so. I didn't think it would be that wide, but it was. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but it was like 3 rows of, I don't know, maybe I'm going to say 9 or 10. I can't remember.
Because
I'd have to check out the video. Let's go to tape,
um,
shall we?
Tormentor looks to be an 8 across. Um, which is crazy to me because Diving Coaster, which I just went on recently in China, is 10 across.
Right.
So I really expected, because I know that they've done a few of the narrow gauge dive coasters recently. which have seemed to be popular. But I
One,
thought that
two,
with it being
three,
like the
four,
biggest one
five,
they've ever
six,
built, that they
seven.
might be going back to the wide track gauge and the wide trains.
Draken's 8 across.
Eight across, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because yeah, so it might be because it's one of the earlier ones, but diving coaster is 10 across.
Okay.
Um, I really, really thought it would be, 9 or 10 or maybe, yeah, like I didn't, I'm quite surprised. But anyway, trains look
Dolly
nice.
Parton was inducted into the International Theme Park Hall of Fame.
Oh, well deserved, honestly. Who else is in the International Theme Park Hall of Fame?
That is a very good question. Um, and she's also apparently won an honorary Oscar for her charity work.
Oh, that's lovely. Is this the IAAPA Hall of Fame?
It is.
Okay. I'm looking up who is in it. Because I'm interested what the um who's the general. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the trend here. So it's generally like designers and stuff. Like you've got Alberto Zamperla, um, and then you've got like the kind of pioneers of parks themselves, like Walt Disney is in there.
Right.
Um, who else is famous? Famous names that we would know in here. Edward Joy Morris was very early um, theme park designer, and I believe coaster designer as well. Roland Mark of Mark Rides fame. P.T. Barnum.
Ha!
There you go.
This is the greatest show.
That was not a name I was expecting to see there. Um, oh, and then it decides to put it all in video format based on year. Hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. These are starting to look more familiar now. John Allen, Carl Bacon. Um, who have we got? Where are we? S. No Alan Schilke yet.
Wow, that's surprising.
But there is Anton
Well,
Schwarzkopf, Werner Stengel, um, Herbert Schmeck, who I've been reading about for a video that I'm working on. Alan Herschel is there. Dick Knoebel from Knoebels. Franz Mark, the founder of Mark Rides.
sorry, can we just laugh at the fact that his name is like Dick Nobble?
Oh, yeah. I love names like that. So good.
Yeah, IAAPA also revealed the close-up look at the Fast and the Furious Hollywood drift cars.
Yeah, and they look so good.
Mm-hmm.
Those Mark lap bars are fantastic. I
Is it a
think
mark?
they might have perfected it, honestly. That's
I thought it was an Intamin for some reason.
Did I say Mark?
Yes.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I meant Intamin.
Okay. Um. Yeah, but there's such pretty cars. My gosh.
They're
Because we hadn't
beautiful.
actually seen any of the final finishes because they had that weird zebra cover-up film on them.
Yeah. No, they're gorgeous.
Um, SeaWorld Orlando unveiled the vehicles for their suspended dark rides, Sequest Legends of the Deep,
Such a
which,
SeaWorld name.
which is being made by Vekoma.
Ooh. That'll be cool.
Mm,
Oh yeah, that's the weird suspended one. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's an interesting ride type. Very interested by that. Oh, the one that I'm excited about is Wings at Morgan's Wonderland.
Okay.
It is a new ride model from Zamperla that is the world's first wheelchair accessible tower ride.
Okay.
It is completely designed with individuals with special needs in mind, and you can wheel the wheelchair on there, and it's like secured and stuff. There's also seats there for those who are not in wheelchairs. And the cute part of it is it's like a tower ride with these with the ride vehicles revolving around it, kind of like a star flyer. Um, and you flap your arms like birds' wings to go higher.
Okay.
It's the cutest ride ever, and it's going to Morgan's Wonderland, which, if you don't know about it, it's a theme park that is entirely focused on being accessible to those with disabilities, which I absolutely love. That's an issue that's quite important to me and close to my heart. So they're absolutely very high on my bucket list to go there. And yeah, they've built this new ride with Zamperla that's fully wheelchair accessible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Come on,
I
accessibility.
We love a bit of accessibility. Um, the Rail Rider trains got revealed.
What do you think of that model? The
Not.
POV videos I've been seeing are just like, okay, I guess.
It feels like, and I'm not sure if this is just because we've only seen like the little prototype that they built in their little Utah facility. Are they going for like a family friendly?
That's what it feels like to me because it didn't seem like it was particularly forceful. And look, you know what? It felt like a slightly jazzed up version of that weird cruise ship coaster.
Yeah, it really feels like they're going for like a very, very family friendly market,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
What's that one on the cruise ship called again?
Bolt.
Bolt, yes.
Yeah, that's a Maurer Spike. They're a weird ride model, and Maurer
Mm.
keeps trying to find ways to make it happen. And I'm like, it's
It's
stop
not
trying to make fetch
fetch
happen.
happen.
They unveiled one recently. I'm not sure if it was at IAAPA or if they just posted about it, where the whole premise of it is like it's like an oval layout with a loop, and you have to try and make it through the loop, but there's like the possibility that you won't make it through the loop, and so rollbacks are built into the ride experience.
Oh, it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, like literally they're trying to make it like if you don't rev like because you can control the speed on those. They're trying to make it so like if you don't rev up hard enough, oh, it'll roll back, and like that's built into the ride experience.
I am of the opinion that you should never give the patrons control over the speed of
Very,
a car.
very much agree.
Because you
Um,
can be like, oh, I get to go for longer on the ride if I just dick around and don't quite rev it as hard, you know?
I haven't even been on a an alpine coaster yet,
Mm,
but I have been on many a toboggan,
yeah.
and probably more often than not, your ride experience is ruined by the fact that the person in front of you is scared
Yeah. 100%.
and goes way too slow. So yeah, I
Um,
fully agree.
I will
The
say that at least at, what do you call it? Magic Mountain Marimbula, the people operating the ride are waiting until the people in front have passed a certain threshold before they'll let you go.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I fell off that?
No.
I fell off the toboggan at Magic Mountain, Marimbula.
How did you pull up?
It was painful.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I managed to luckily the little car didn't go too far.
Mm.
Um so I kind of just got back on, but yeah, I it was not the proudest moment of my life. Um
It's one of those things you wish you had a GoPro.
yeah, I very much wish I was recording that. I ended up not even vlogging that whole trip like I was going to, and then I just
Yeah, because I remember you going, and then like I think you only had a couple of snippets of footage somewhere. And
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
kind
it
of
really
just
ever made it into a video.
yeah, that was one of the ones where I was just kind of like when I was there, I was not really in the mood.
Sure.
And I got a bunch of footage and then I went back and looked at the footage I got and I was like, I can't even make a video out of that. Like it's
Right.
there's nothing there. Um Fun visit, but yeah, fell off
I
the toboggan.
Yeah. I think it would have been a more complete visit had I gone on the water slides. Um,
Mm,
but I didn't at the time, and then since then, my track record with water slides hasn't been great. So, um,
fair.
yeah,
Fair enough. Um Totally derailing our talk about IAAPA for a second.
no worries.
Um but I don't think that we've talked about this yet because I think this happened this week. Hair Razor
Yes,
removed from Luna Park Sydney's website. And a big shout out to TV in the Discord who alerted me to that fact. Um,
that's wild. Because even for the entire time that Wild Mouse was under renovations, that was still on the website.
it was. And that's what concerns me. Is that the other thing that concerns me is the bug situation because I know from people I've spoken to that bug is in a similar situation where it's pretty much indefinite at this point. Like
Mm,
it might not ever reopen.
right.
But bug is still on the Luna Park website, and just marked as down for maintenance.
Yeah.
So clearly, the standard approach seems to be if a ride's down, even if it's down for an indefinite amount of time, we mark it as down for maintenance, but it stays on the website. So what's the difference here? Why is Hair Razor gone? And to me, the only answer to that is because it's gone.
Yeah. That's not looking good for the old hair razor, which
No,
is arguably the best ride at Luna Park. So that's if that's gone, that's a big blow to them.
it's a big blow. It's definitely my favorite ride at Luna Park. It was close with Big Dipper, and then as soon as Big Dipper started to gain its rattle, I definitely was a big more of a Hair Razor fan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, um, I'll be devastated if what I suspect is true. Um, it's it's not a closure that I saw coming, um, which is probably what makes it harder as a big fan of Luna Park and a big fan of Hair Razor. That like it feels very much like I can kind of understand what King Dakar locals would have gone through with
Mm.
the whole getting very blindsided by it. Um,
Yeah, I wish there'd been some kind of warning that was like get your last rides in kind of thing.
yeah, with this one, it feels a little bit less like kind of the maliciousness of what Six Flags kind of did with King Dakar, because it does seem like what's happened is Hair Razor has gone down and has needed a very significant maintenance period, like a refurbishment, basically.
Mm.
Um, and at around the same time, Luna Park has gone through a change of ownership,
Yeah.
so it feels like they've
And the new owners are very hospitality based and not really
very
a
hospitality focused, very the flagship of the park as far as they're concerned, it seems, is these Netflix experiences that they're
and
running.
dream circus and whatever's going on the big top.
Yeah, exactly. So it definitely seems like they've come in and seen Hair Razor needs X amount of money spent on it to keep it in operation, and they've been like, well,
And they're like, well, this isn't under heritage. It's a low priority for us,
yeah, not what we need to be spending money on.
which is a real big shame.
Very big shame. I do suspect, just based off that fact alone, that like Luna Park have had over the last few years several rides closed for extended periods of time, and never have they removed one from the website before. That leads me to the conclusion that I think it's probably done. I think it's I think they're doing that because they want to stop advertising it.
Yeah.
Um, and
You'd
so
think that
that's
they would have at least put a press release out about it.
yeah. I look. It's not a nice situation. I don't like if this is true. I don't like that. I don't like the way that's handled. I don't think that um, attractions should close quietly and just
I
disappear.
I think it's probably their hand was forced, like some kind of spare part or whatever like, needed to bring it up to scratch, and they just
Oh,
don't have the funds to do that.
100%. I think maybe the closure itself might have been completely out of their hands.
Yeah,
What I don't like is the just
swept
remove
under
it
the
from the
rug thing.
website and say nothing
Yeah,
approach. That is very icky to me. If it was bug, I'd be like, ah, yeah, it's a kid's ride.
yeah,
No one's going to notice if it's gone tomorrow. But um, hair razor, like I said, is my favorite ride at the park.
mm,
So I'm a little bit devastated that it seems like they've just decided to just sweep it aside and move on. Um, and if it is indeed the end of the line for hair razor, then rest in peace, old friend.
yeah. Exactly. You served us well. You've had a good run.
Yeah, very very a ride that I had a very personal attachment to as a former operator of that ride as well.
Yep.
One of my favorite rides to not only ride but to operate. I loved it. It was an absolute joy to operate as well. So um, it really does feel like there's a little piece of my theme park memories and upbringing is just potentially died, and
Yeah.
it hurts.
100%.
Um, so yeah, rest in peace, hair razor. You will be sorely missed.
Pour one out for hair razor, everybody.
Yeah, sad times.
Absolutely.
Rough to see it go. What else has happened this week? We've got
King Claw edging towards completion and opening.
yeah, I saw Dane's theme park life post about they were doing sound testing there.
That's great.
Like I assume music and
Q
PA
ride
systems
theming.
and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff
Mm.
getting tested, which means probably pretty close
Yeah.
if all that's installed. Yeah, that's exciting. Probably
Uh,
a matter of weeks away now. We got Movie World announced their new stunt show.
yep. Today
Uh,
went up on the website. What is it called? Spy Quest? What's it called? Uh,
I gotta find it.
Spy Chase Stunt Show.
Spy Chase stunt show.
And
Well,
it
I'm
is an
excited about.
original story. It is story
Mm,
based.
that's the first thing that I'm very excited about.
Me too, 100%. It
Um,
looks like there is actual stunts with stunt people as opposed to just people in cars or on bikes.
which is the other thing I'm very excited about
Same
because
here.
I'm cool. Look, vehicle stunts are great. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
But I feel like there should be a an aspect of a stunt show, not the entire
100%.
stunt show.
You know,
Um,
I love me some melted cheese.
mm,
It's hard to eat an entire meal of melted cheese.
very true. Yes,
And
especially
if you're going to be eating melted cheese for a good long time, you're going to start feeling a little queasy after a while.
yes, exactly.
So take that and apply it to the stunt show, and that's why everyone got a bit sick of bogans and burnouts.
Yes. Um, and look, I'm very excited to see where it goes in terms of the story. It honestly, to me, it feels a little bit like the stunt show is coming back to Movie World, even though
Mm.
there has been a stunt show this whole time.
There's going to be explosions again. That's
It
exciting.
just hasn't interested me for this whole time. I think I've watched. Hollywood stunt. I watched Hollywood Stunt Driver once,
Yeah, same.
but it just doesn't. It never intrigued me.
And because I
Um,
remember how cool the original Police Academy show was, it was just like, oh, is this what they're showing now?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
So
going back to a narrative-based stunt show that will have more variety to it than just vehicles.
it's a
Yeah,
storyline. It feels like a very good move for Movie World. So I'm excited, Movie World. Can't wait to see it.
hats off to them. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
hats off to them for a lot of things this week. Um, they
Yeah,
have invited a bunch of the creators up there for a preview of Scooby Doo Spooky Coaster.
which is great news.
I have criticized them in the past for, and look, I know it sounds like an arrogant point to make as a creator, but not seeing the value of social media and creators
Mhm.
to them as marketing tools,
Yep.
and kind of just refusing outright to work with creators at all, or let creators do on-ride footage, or let creators do um, kind of behind the scenes looks at things. And it's good to see them kind of catching up with that. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the content that those guys will produce from that preview.
Even just all their little teasers for Scooby Doo Spooky Coaster have been, there's been a lot more of a strategy to it this time.
It
So
feels, yeah, a lot more engaging.
I don't know if they've got a new social media person or team going on, but it seems like they've got their shit together now. And so
Yeah.
I'm applauding them for that. And for seeing the value in creators as part of that marketing machine.
Mm. I mean, as creators, we all love the parks,
Yeah.
and we're all there to, you know, promote the parks wherever we see fit. So if you're a park and you've got creators in your area, 100% that we're a tool. We're please use us. Like we've we've got a platform for you to use if you want it. And I think that the fact that Movie World's seeing that is a fantastic move in the right direction. I think that especially up there on the Gold Coast, you've got That So Mid, you've got Jags Journeys, you've got Mr. Yum Yum, Theme Park Ogre, a whole bunch of them up there
Yeah.
that are locals and that have big audiences. Um,
Dane's Theme Park Life, Adventures of
Thanks.
Theme Park Girl, AU Theme
Exactly.
Park Fan,
Yep.
uh, uh, Chuck Chuck Woo.
Yeah, my boy. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of them up there that they can take advantage of the audience of, and so it's good to see. It is very very good to see that they are taking steps into a more thoughtful promotional direction with the way they utilize social media.
I'm going to make an observation,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love to get your 2 cents on it.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like it is the template for what could have been a 007 stunt show, but without the rights to it.
Interesting.
The and here's the blurb from the website. The all-new spy chase stunt show brings explosive action to the streets of downtown Italy, where Havoc's leader races to unlock the Atlas box. The mission director needs your help to stop him. Buckle up for roaring engines, daring stunts, and a mission you won't forget. Coming this December to Warner Brothers Movie World. So it could be either the template for either a 007 stunt show or a Mission Impossible stunt show.
Hmm. Who has the rights to the 007 films?
Amazon, I believe. They
Which
just got the
also
rights.
also has the rights to is the owner of MGM, right?
I believe so, yes.
Right. So there could be some crossover, but so evidently, for whatever reason, maybe they haven't been able to get the rights.
Because I don't know who would own the theme park rights to Bond. Hasn't that been a whole big thing with Universal UK?
Yeah, we don't really know anything about what's going to happen at Universal UK. Um, but I know that there has been questions. There's been speculation about whether or not Bond may be included purely because it's in the UK.
Mm,
I know that there was a big speculation about a lot of the properties there purely based on whether they were
British.
properties that are British. Um, a couple of other notable ones as well that
Yeah.
I don't particularly want to talk about, but
Same.
that there was speculation over whether or not they would be included. So I think that may have just been a it's British, so why wouldn't you kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Has there ever been a James Bond theme park?
I don't think so.
I can't recall any James Bond attractions.
Can we talk about the little teaser video on the website for the Spy Chase stunt show using the Wilhelm scream in the video?
I actually didn't see the video. I've only seen the website.
It's like a little, I think it's like a 15-second teaser. Um, and it's very cute, but that does use the Wilhelm scream, and that made me chuckle quite a bit.
I like that. See, that also feels a little bit like an appreciation of also we're not just about WB properties, we're about films in general.
Yeah.
Because the Wilhelm scream is so universal across cinema.
Mm,
Um, which, you know, I love Movie World to go back to that a little bit. Yeah, you've got your IPs. Yeah, you want to take advantage of those IPs. You've probably got to earn your the bucks that you've got to pay to Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow corporate and all that sort of stuff. But you know, it's meant to be movie world as well. Like,
mm,
give us a little bit of general movie production stuff.
yeah,
Um, so that's kind of that feels. I like the way that feels as a teaser.
totally.
Movie World's getting praise on Total Bear Learning right now.
I know that. What world are we in?
Also, when I went there in October, their operations were better than they were in January. What?
What is going on?
Is Movie World improving?
Well, let's not go too far. Look at how many rides are down.
That's true, but I do want to be fair when fairness is due. Some of that's not their fault.
Mm,
Um, it's not ideal. Absolutely, it's not ideal. But like, when you've got an intimate accelerator on your hands, there's not a lot you can do.
but it's like so many of their rides are down is the issue.
Yeah.
I think
Look, some
Justice
of
League
some of
is
it
as
is
well. Wild West, I think that's also down.
yeah. Wild West briefly went down. I think now the last I've heard is that it's back up. Um, it, it's a tough situation because like Superman's not their fault. Superman's just a 20-year-old intimate accelerator.
Wicked
So
Witch is down.
it's gonna have
Batwing's down.
Jesus Christ. All right, hang
Justice
on.
League's down.
What's down? Superman's down, Flash is down, Wild West was down briefly.
Wicked Witch is down.
Jesus Christ.
Batwing Space Shot's down.
Oh my god.
Justice League is down.
Okay. Is that it?
Um, Flash is down. We said that. Superman is down. We said that. Yeah, those are the ones that and not counting the ones that are coming soon, such as Scooby Doo and Stunt Show.
Yeah, yeah, we'll forget about those for a bit. Superman's not their fault. Flash, it's not their fault, but at the same time, I
It was a
think
poor
over,
choice.
it was a bad choice to try and relocate it because it had a lot of issues at Wet and Wild as well. Um, yeah, it had a really bad maintenance track record at Wet and Wild, and I thought maybe I gave them the benefit of the doubt and thought maybe it's because Wet and Wild's maintenance team that's there on a day to day basis is usually dealing with water slides, and so
Mm,
they're kind of struggling to keep up with the maintenance on it. But evidently, no, it's just a lemon. Um, so I think not necessarily fully their fault, but maybe you just should have got rid of it.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me.
And it's we can't even count Doomsday Destroyer. Like that's just a giant hole in the park right now.
It is, but again, also not their fault. I think that's just a really bad ride model from Intamin
Yeah.
because it's only been installed a few times and none of them lasted particularly long, from what I know. So I think they just
They're
took a
just in a
gamble
tough
on
little
an
spot right now.
they took a gamble on an Intamin flat ride that turned out to be a dud. Um, I also think that Wild West Falls was not necessarily their fault. That's an old ride.
It is an old ride.
Um, and I know it's got its own issues, like the fact that it has that massive pothole in the
I think
bottom
that's
of the
the new
track.
boats.
I think it might be. Someone mentioned in the Discord that they think that it bottoms out on the concrete,
Mm.
which, like, that's crazy to me that it would be doing that. But yeah, it's got like problems. It's an old ride. It's as old as me. Did you know that? Well, not quite.
God.
I'm old. I'm what, 5 months older than it?
Yeah. Okay.
um, so it's just old.
Yeah.
But some of those other ones, Batwing. I know that SNS are like not the most reliable manufacturer ever. I know Green Lantern has a whole lot of issues, but I thought their flat ride models were pretty decent. Especially those shot towers. They're kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be a ride model that has a lot of issues. Justice League, I assume it's just like they've got a bunch of theming issues.
Okay. Well, what does it say on the website? Space Shot is unplanned maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Justice League is planned maintenance.
Okay, so Justice League is just down for planned maintenance. That's fine.
Superman just says currently under maintenance.
Yep.
Flash Speed 4 just says currently under maintenance. Flight
Yep.
of the Wicked Witch is planned maintenance.
Planned maintenance at this time of year. Interesting.
I mean,
Well,
it's the last lead up until the summer holidays. They want to make sure everything's
true.
ship shape.
When I went there in October, Wicked Witch had 2 rows out.
Maybe that's part of it.
So that could have been a scheduled thing to try and fix that issue in advance of the summer holidays. Um, which I'm baffled by that. How is that ride having maintenance issues?
It's brand new.
Brand new and a Vekoma and a standard off the shelf Vekoma model. Like, it's not, nothing about that should be having issues at this early stage.
I reckon it's probably something to do with like the seatbelt clips or something have gone a bit daggy or whatever.
Possibly, yeah.
And because of their own strict policies, even though those seatbelts do bugger all,
Mm.
if they're not actually clipping in, this is complete speculation. I have no idea, but that's just my
Could
first
be.
guess.
Could be, because those seatbelts would also be like outsourced to someone else
Yeah.
to make. So I don't know.
Again,
It's
complete
just
guesswork on my part.
absolutely crazy to me that Flight of the Wicked Witch is already having rows of seats out of
And
action.
and not only that, but Kansas Twister is only periodically running 2 trains.
That sadly doesn't surprise me.
That's a manpower thing, I reckon.
I think it's a combination of a manpower thing, and I mentioned in my DC Rivals review that I dropped this week that Movie World, what they seem to try to do, because they're open 364 days a year,
Yeah.
and so that means that they've got to have a maintenance window, an annual maintenance window for every ride, where it's not going to be open and there's going to be people at the park who are going to miss out. They try and shorten that window by doing anything that's not completely essential to close the ride at like while the ride's still in operation. So, like, train maintenance for is the obvious example.
Yeah.
On DC Rivals, they'll just run it on one train outside of peak period and do the annual train maintenance by, like, taking one train off, doing the maintenance, swapping them over, doing the maintenance for the other one.
And
And
it's
that's why it's
probably good for them because it means they can probably get an upsell on fast passes.
true. And it's so that's why they are that's the reason that I assume from their perspective why they are so often running coasters on one train ops.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the same thing with Kansas Twister. It's just, oh, well, actually, they this is the perfect ride model for them because not only can they have one train out of operation during non-peak periods, they can have a whole track out of operation during non-peak periods. I don't know how much maintenance they'll be able to do on it. I feel like if you're gonna have maintenance crew in the ride area, the ride's got to be entirely closed.
Yeah, totally.
But there's probably some extra elements to the maintenance that they can get done while the ride's still in operation, just purely because that whole track is not running. So it doesn't absolutely shock me that they have taken the approach of we only run both sides during peak.
Mhm.
Sadly, because I don't think that should be the case, but it's consistent with what they do.
Um, Changing tack, heading over to Dreamworld.
Mm,
Um, Big Brother is, you know, still chugging along. Um,
yes.
I think they've eliminated a couple of contestants already. I'm just trying to think what the likely timeline is for them to pack up that, what do you call it, the eviction audience area and open up Gold Coaster again.
Well, so yeah, because they're doing the live shows and stuff, so everything's probably filmed pretty much not quite live, but like with very little turnaround period in terms of editing and everything. Um, which means you could almost bank on it being pretty much consistent with the schedule of the show itself.
Hmm.
Like once the finale happens, then things will start to open back up. Maybe they have a slight bump out period, but other than that, once the show's over, the Gold Coaster will be back open. I am slightly pissed off about the fact that they've done it that way. That it's the filming is now so central to the park that a ride has to be out of operation so that they don't get noise pollution in their filming.
Yeah.
Like, respectfully, fuck off. It's as someone who is maybe occasionally interested in um reality TV, but always interested in roller coasters. I hate you guys. You suck. Um, but yeah, look, it it is what it is. I think it's good for Dreamworld. It's a bit of publicity for them.
I think it's only been the one person that's been evicted so far.
I saw their post on Instagram about getting evicted, but I
Um,
actually hadn't watched the episode, so I don't know if.
from what I understand, it was some dude who called himself anti woke. So,
Ah, I no longer feel sympathy for that person.
but also they've in what do you call it? Yeah, they've put also someone else in there that's very polarizing in their political views.
Uh, I wish we wouldn't do that. I get that you've got to create drama somehow, but like, come on, you're just platforming
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah. Anyway, yay, King Claw.
Woo, King Claw! So
um,
excited.
it looks very pretty, and they've already put their landscaping in as well. So it looks like it could open any day now, pretty much.
Yeah, I suspect they'll take their time getting everything. It feels like a ride opening where, for once, they're actually kind of
Ahead of the game.
ahead of schedule,
Yeah.
and they've got the time to make sure that everything's picture perfect and ready to go.
And start putting billboards up like they did for Rivertown and things like that.
Mm. They're So I suspect it'll still be December because
Yeah.
um I don't think they want to jump the gun if it's not looking absolutely perfect. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13 housemates so far, and I think one's been eliminated.
Mm. Yes, like I said, I saw that housemates post on Instagram about getting eliminated, and I was kind of it seemed like a very reasonable response to getting eliminated. So I was like, oh, okay. And now that I've found out potentially the reason why, I feel less sympathetic. Get out.
Get out. Um, have we heard anything much out of SeaWorld?
Do we ever?
No, I don't even know why I asked the question.
No, I don't think they're doing much yet. I don't
Okay,
know. It feels weird. It's starting to get weird. But I know that it was starting to get weird before we got the new Atlantis announced as well.
true.
It was like a couple of years of not much before that. So, but that being said, it's no longer just a couple of years. It's 2022 was Leviathan and Trident.
Yeah,
So there's been no major changes there in 3 consecutive calendar years now.
which is pretty wild. Like the only changes they've made is that they've officially shut down the monorail. Well, the monorail was closed for a while, but
Hmm.
like been removing chunks of it.
I don't think they plan to do that. I really don't think that they actually wanted to get rid of the monorail.
Yeah.
I think they closed it for New Atlantis construction and Leviathan construction, and then because of the delays, it sat there for so long that it probably needed something. It needed
Right.
work, and they just didn't have the money to spare or didn't think it was worth it.
It's just, yeah. It's such a shame that it's so expensive for them to either maintain or put new infrastructure into theme parks.
Yeah, it is a real shame. Um, I know the monorail meant a lot to a lot of people as well as a piece of transport infrastructure history because we've had several monorails around Australia, and I believe SeaWorld was the last one. Is that
Mm.
it?
Didn't I hear a rumor that apparently they were supposed to be selling the monorail, from the Sydney monorail, to like Hobart or something, and then it just never happened?
Possibly. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know where I heard that, but anyway.
I saw a great video from Abandoned Oz recently where
I
they
love
showed
that channel just
it's
quietly.
a great channel.
Him,
Um,
and he also has a Sydney Trains vlog channel as well.
mm, well,
Phil, I think his name is.
he he was just filming through the window of the remains of the old Chinatown stop on the Sydney monorail.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's still there in such a capacity that it's like still recognizably a monorail
Now
station.
there's an unconventional guest we could get on the channel to talk about the old Wonderland.
We totally could. He's been there. I still haven't. I got caught trying to go in there.
Yeah. You were telling how you had sort of a intimidating interaction with some dude.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna go in there to do a little bit of sneaky filming. Don't recommend. Please follow the law. Don't invade private property.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I was gonna do a little sneaky sneak, and yeah, I had a guy drive past me in a ute going up towards the Sydney water facility up there, and then he stopped and got. At first, he drove straight past me, so I was like, "Oh, cool, he doesn't care. Um, I'm gonna be fine." And then he got out and like was like looking directly back at me,
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna turn around." He's very
It's too
intimidating.
much. Can't deal with this.
Yeah, I don't like confrontation. Um, and he was definitely up for some confrontation. So I
Mm.
was like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Maybe not."
Yeah.
I know that I'm in the wrong here. Um, yeah, I just backed out. But yeah, no, he'd be great to have on the channel. He did this great video recently where he was just walking across the Anzac Bridge and just like talking about the history of the Anzac Bridge.
Mm.
It was such like a nice video to just relax to, like very low key, almost like lo-fi kind of thing, just to have in the background.
Yeah, I really enjoy his channel, and he's been very good at sort of doing things on updates to metro stations and stuff like that. It's like on
Mm.
his Sydney Trains vlog channel. He's got some good stuff there.
What inspires me about him is that he has like what his channel is about. Like obviously he's about urbex and abandoned places, but knowing that he can't produce enough content of that specifically to keep the channel regularly updated, he kind of has this understanding of what his audience would want outside of that.
Yeah.
Like he seems he's like, okay, well, there's not enough abandoned places in Australia to continually be uploading videos of that.
Mm.
But I know that if someone's interested in abandoned places, they're probably interested in just infrastructure in general and changes to infrastructure and new things that are being constructed. And it's a I I wish to have that understanding of my audience.
Yeah, 100%.
He's very good at that. Abandoned Oz, if you're listening by some miracle, come and join us on Total Baloney. We'd love to talk shit with you.
Please. Because, trains, things that run on rails, roller coasters, there is
Mm.
crossover there. Wonderland.
I have a
We've got
question for
plenty to
you.
talk about here.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
On okay, so I'm working on a video right now. Exclusive sneak peek for Total Baloney listeners. This video is going to be it's going to lean more to my comedic side, a
Hmm.
little bit more satire.
Sure.
And it's going to be what was the best roller coaster in the US to open under each president?
Right.
And I'm going to do like a whole thing of like basically judging each president based on how good and how influential their best coaster was.
Okay.
Forget all this politics bullshit. I want to know who is the best president for coasters. Um, Now, that brings up the question of who was the first president to oversee a coaster being opened.
Right.
And I thought at first that the answer was pretty definitive. However, there was a predecessor to roller coasters, the Morch Chunk Switchback Railway, opened in Pennsylvania in 1827 or something like that, which was very, very early in the US history. Now, it was built as a coal transporting railway,
Right.
but it was powered by gravity. It had a bunch of dips in it and stuff. Just completely by accident, it resembled a roller coaster very strongly.
Sure.
Um, And very early on, they realized that people were like having a lot of fun riding along with the coal, and so they started offering um, joy rides on it as a source of side income. And it about 50 years later, like the 1870s or something like that,
Hmm.
it stopped being a coal railway, and it was open for a further 50 years. It only fully closed in the Great Depression, as just a joyride. Um, and so my question is, who do I credit that to? Because it opened under John Quincy Adams, who is only like the sixth president of the US. But at that time, it was not a ride; it was a coal railroad. Roller coasters didn't exist at that time, but at for at least 50 years of its existence, it was pretty plain and simple, just a roller coaster.
I think it's got to be for the purposes of entertainment.
Yeah, but that one's like it sits on, it straddles this line of like it wasn't built for the purposes of entertainment, but for 50 years it existed only purely for the purposes of entertainment. It was like repurposed.
Yeah, that's a wacky one.
And also like those the first joyrides that it offered were like within the first year of its existence. It They immediately recognized that appeal and that market. But for like the first, it existed for around 100 years. For the first 50 years, it was both joyrides and coal. For the second 50 years, it was just joyrides. So that's a wacky one.
Yeah.
It is also it's what inspired Lamarcus Thompson to invent the first roller coaster,
Okay.
because he went and rode that and thought that there was, hang on, there's a market there.
Does
Um,
this include sort of your Russian mountain, whatever you call it?
Russian mountains are a little bit different. They were So they're originally like basically fake sledding mountains,
Yeah.
so that rich people who lived in St. Petersburg and eventually like Paris and stuff as well could go sledding when they didn't have any mountains or anything nearby. They would build these big wooden hills, but then all the people wanted some to do the same thing in summer, so they added um, steel rails and these like carts, I guess, to them, so that they would be able to ride down the hills in summer as well as winter when there was no ice. So those were the first of what you would call anything kind of roller coaster adjacent.
Yep.
Um, Whether I think they actually are roller coasters is a good question, because they they're very different to what you would call a modern roller coaster, and they also played very little role in the inspiration of the invention of the modern roller coaster.
Right.
Because Lamarcus Thompson was American and he probably never even knew that the Russian mountains existed. Um, he was very much more inspired by the Mach Chunk switchback railway.
Sure.
Um, but who knows? That's a good question. The history of the roller coaster is very convoluted. But yeah, I'm in my video, I'm crediting it to John Quincy Adams because he was president when the Mach Chunk Railway was built. But and they did start using it for joyrides while he was still president. But I am kind of torn because I'm like, it wasn't built for that purpose. That was just an additional thing they decided to do, and it wasn't exclusively for amusement purposes until 50 years later.
Right.
So who knows? Look, tell us in the comments.
Weigh in.
Is that a roller coaster? If it was still around today, would you count it as a credit?
Um, I'm going to change tack again. What
Yes.
is with all of these major internet providers and server people having like outages lately because we had another one this week.
Cloudflare, right?
Yeah.
I think my little conspiracy theory for the week.
Yep.
I think it was a cyber attack, and
Yeah.
that they're covering for it because they immediately claimed that it was like a software glitch, and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. This should never have happened." Um, and we're working on a fix straight away.
None of these providers don't want to admit that they had any kind of security flaws.
I think it looks much worse for them if their security is poor and people's personal data has been breached than if they had some sort of little software bug and they're like, "Oh, wow, that was bad, but we've fixed it now."
But if it's found that there was a software privacy breach, then legally they'd have to report it.
Probably, yeah. But hope I guess their hope would be that we get further down the line, people forget that this happened, and then they can just because how many data breaches happen nowadays, and people just barely pay attention to them because they're so common.
Yeah, that's. I would hope that you've got watchdogs for that kind of thing.
Yeah, my worry is that that's what's happening is that they've gone, oh no, we think it was some sort of software issue, and then they'll turn around, a few months down the line, we'll find out that a bunch of data was breached, and they'll say, oh, we're working hard to ensure that people's data is protected as much as possible. um
But a bit late now, where
yeah,
you could have done something to change your password.
it does worry me how fragile the internet is
Mm.
for how much we rely on it at
Yeah.
all times. Like
Um,
if the internet disappeared at this stage, what would we even do?
make phone calls, send faxes,
Yeah, but like no one has a fax machine anymore.
go
Like
outside,
so much go
carrier
outside.
pigeons.
Go outside is a great answer. Touch grass. Um in so many ways it would be so much better for us. But at the same time, so much of society is now basically purely online.
Mm.
It frightens me how fragile it all is. That you get, you know, as Cloudflare is claiming a software glitch or some group of hackers with ill intentions, and all of a sudden everyone's data is just out there.
Again,
Or
we are speculating and theorizing. We are not alleging.
oh, I'm not alleging that against Cloudflare at all, but like it has happened elsewhere
Yeah.
in terms of people's data just being out there and like easily accessible to hackers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's it's frightening.
Do not send us letters. Do not have your lawyers contact us.
Cloudflare, I believe you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But also, I think that this does highlight how fragile the internet infrastructure is because, like, it's this whole monolith balancing on a couple of sticks, basically.
Mm.
If Cloudflare goes down, or if what's the Amazon one called, AWS or whatever,
Yeah.
if that goes down, then like whole portions of the internet are just not accessible.
Yeah. Um, because like I've my ADHD is making me jump around from topic to topic. I'm just going to start another tack.
Welcome to
Um,
Total Baloney, where we
yeah,
talk about
100%.
literally just whatever comes to our heads.
And I just want to plant a seed, and we can maybe approach this in an end of year wrap up episode.
Mhm.
Um, of what we think our 2026 Australian theme park bingo card entries should be.
Oh, I'd love to do one of those. I never think of that kind of thing in time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you planted the seed. 2026 Australian theme park bingo. It's hard to say.
Something, anything from SeaWorld, one square.
That's the only thing I was thinking of is just even an announcement from SeaWorld would be great. Um, doesn't have to open in 2026. I just wanna see you do something.
Yeah,
Um, 2026, what am I expecting? Um,
some kind of announcement about Superman.
mm, I'd almost be daring enough to say we get a confirmed closing date for Superman.
Yeah, I would hard agree.
Um, whether it's because it closes unexpectedly or they put a date on it and close it like a proper theme park.
And like do a we're celebrating 20 years of Superman thrilling patrons, get your last rides in kind of thing.
Mm,
When did it open again?
2005.
Okay, so yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, which seems to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
With Intamin models.
yep.
Um,
Announcement of a motor coaster replacement.
maybe. Um, announcement of what's going to fill the hole in DC villains.
Something happens with the DC villains area, I think, in general.
Yeah,
Even if it's
because we've had Scooby Doo finish, we've had the Star Terrace open.
mm,
And those were big sort of holes before. We've had the announcement of the new stunt show.
it does need to, yeah.
Um, yeah, something needs to fill that before they start taking away existing ride models.
Maloney's Coasters hits 10,000 subscribers, finally.
You're almost there, aren't you?
9, 8 something. Yeah, pretty close.
Here's me with my small potatoes going on. Jeez.
At this stage, the my little heart to heart that I'm gonna have with the Total Baloney audience here. I'm actually happy about this. I will disclose. I feel like my channel's a bit dead.
Okay.
Everything I've posted lately has got nothing in terms of engagement, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm
You're,
okay with that.
you're at peace with it.
I'm like, I'm just gonna post things for me.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just gonna post things because I want to post them, and like the engagement is so low. But I'm like, actually, that feels like there's a whole lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
Um, and I can just kind of, maybe I make a video and it doesn't turn out as good as I thought it would. I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. Okay, post it. Feels a little bit less like I'm constantly under scrutiny, and I kind of like that. But I still would hope that I can gain what, like 120 subscribers in the space of a year.
You would hope so. And you're starting to post some like good new China content. So
I does China get shadow banned by YouTube?
I don't know.
Because that's something that I noticed and I got worried about because I posted of the top 10 most anticipated coasters of the China trip, and it did shockingly bad.
Right.
Like really, really bad compared to everything around it. And I've just dropped the first vlog of the China trip today, and it's the pattern is starting to look very similar.
Yeah, I've been finding it's a real Japan's been a real struggle.
Because I got and to be fair, I titled it "My First Chinese Theme Park Was Crazy."
Yeah.
So I did start to wonder, wait, like, okay, also there have been a few other videos lately that have not been doing too great, but I did wonder, wait a second, is it because I put Chinese in the title?
I
Because
don't know.
I know YouTube and Google and China don't get along.
Surely not.
I don't know. It just feels like that's a bit of a coincidence where that the top 10 most anticipated in China did really poorly. And then I post the first vlog from China with China in the title, and it starts out equally poorly. I'm like, okay.
I'd want to see more data for that to start entertaining that
We'll see
concept.
how it goes. I have a couple more. I have another vlog lined up for a couple of days from now, so we'll
Like
see what
I
happens.
my what do you call it? Tokyo Dome City and Tokyo Joypolis video. It's after 11 days, it's still sitting on 128 views. It's just
Mm.
bombed.
So the top 10 most anticipated in China, I posted it on October 17th.
Yeah,
It's at 490 views,
right.
which typically mine will hit. My standard is like between 1 and 3,000.
Mm.
Um, then recently I've had just a general lull. I've got like the Steel Taipan reviews at like 900. The Scooby Doo versus Jungle Rush is at 980. And now the first vlog from China is also very much underperforming in its opening hours. So I'm like, I wonder. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll gather some more data.
Watch this space.
Yes. Where else could we put squares on our 2026 bingo card
Um,
other than the Gold Coast? Because it feels like we're very Gold Coast heavy.
well, what's the name of this thing that just got announced as the new
Oh, the
theme park in Brisbane?
the Brisbane one.
Yeah.
I'm very cautious about that kind of thing because I feel like I've seen too many like, oh, we're opening a Disney, we're opening a Universal, we're
Oh,
reopening.
Wonderland's coming back. Wank, wank,
Yeah,
wank.
Wonderland's coming back. I've seen too much of that, and I'm like, I'll believe it when you start construction.
Yeah, when we see the first sod turned.
Hmm. It looked good, but I'm still a little bit like, build it and we'll talk.
For Moreton Bay, Infinity Planet, I think it's called.
Hold on, let me get up the article.
So it's right now it's just a proposal that's been lodged with council. So still pie in the sky as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, to me that I've been fooled too many times.
Mm-hmm.
It that means nothing to me. Um, Moreton Bay Regional Council, 68-hectare site. Uh,
It's a lot of indoor looking stuff.
Dynamic, sustainable, and future ready tourism city that captures the imagination of visitors of all ages, offering cultural experiences for every member of the family while generating enduring employment and defining the next evolution of tourism, entertainment, and innovation for Queensland. Both an indoor and outdoor theme park with 50 cultural pavilions providing a permanent world expo. And you know what I hate the most? Is that the rendering that they've got here, you can see like the kind of inner sphere that they've got going on here. It's
It
very
looks
like
like this is going to really date me. It looks like a game of Pop-O-Matic Trouble.
I was gonna say it looks like the Stark Expo from Iron Man 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Um,
I want you to Google Pop-O-Matic Trouble or
I'll Google
Pop-O-Matic
that while I
Headache.
I'll Google that while I make this point. Problematic trouble. Um, but the rendering image that I'm looking at, which is the bird's eye image, has a coaster in it, and it looks to be a fucking arrow corkscrew.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
I'm like, were you? Have you not looked at theme parks since 1989?
Yeah.
Like, what
Where's the vision?
have you? Whoever came up with this concept has not seen a theme park in 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You seriously are going to put an arrow corkscrew in this fucking place? First of all, oh wait, Pop-O-Matic Trouble.
Yes. Am I
I
wrong?
I know what this is. Oh my god. It's you've just resurfaced some deeply held memories. Um,
Tell me I'm wrong.
fully agreed, it looks absolutely like that. Yeah, no, I'm concerned about the image. If they do get the approval to go ahead with this, I'm concerned about the developers' vision from the fact that they seem to have
They call it a theme park with what? An arrow looper, a Ferris wheel, what looks like a swinging ship, and maybe a couple of merry-go-rounds.
the what I'm looking at seems to have some sort of circus tent, an arrow corkscrew
Hmm.
of like that looks like two separate pirate ship rides,
Yeah,
a small carnivalesque log flume, a Ferris wheel, and an Intamin gyro swing.
yeah.
Like, have a bit of fucking vision. Like you, like what? Those are the most generic rides you could have picked. Is your entire inspiration like Wonderland and the Royal Easter Show?
Yeah, it's giving very Royal Easter Show, isn't it?
It does feel like the Royal Easter Show, other than the Arrow Corkscrew, because I can't imagine there's ever been an Arrow
It looks like
Corkscrew at
a
the Royal
twin
Easter Show.
hammer ride. Um,
Oh my god.
yeah, I'm seeing two pirate ships.
Like right next to each other as
Hmm.
well. Um,
Like
I
something like
assume
Rebel.
I assume at least one of those like circular circus style roofs is a carousel or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think there's a log flume.
Is that another pirate ship right next to the Arrow Looper?
Yeah, so I see the one pirate ship next to the arrow looper, two pirate ships next to the weird castle in the center, between the
Yep.
castle and the log flume.
Yep.
It's like, I'm sorry, it is not a theme park. This is a glorified fun fair.
It's I really hope that this is like the most earliest of earliest renderings, as in they literally have no idea about the specifics yet. They just rendered uh, like the most generic idea of an amusement park possible.
Yeah, totally. It's very roller
Please.
coaster tycoon.
If this is actually what you're like kind of going with, first of all, I have bad news for you. Aerodynamics has been out of business for 23
Yeah.
years. But um like what? Yeah, this is really not great. I like the idea of the big old sphere in the middle and
The
the
Pop-O-Matic
cult,
sphere.
cultural pavilions. I like the idea of the cultural pavilions. Feels very Europa Park,
Yeah.
but
Now, on the high end and on the low end, it feels like World Expo Park.
yes, exactly. Which, considering that they're doing it in Brisbane, that's a bad sign.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm skeptical not just because of what I'm seeing from this rendering, but I'm skeptical because I feel like we see a $2.5 billion theme park proposal come along every other year, and most of them disappear
So
into the
maybe
wind.
that's a square. Like, do we think that it's going to be a Infinity Planet rejection slash confirmation approval?
Mm, yeah, that could be a square. I would say I would say the square for 2026 would be no. I'm not brave enough to put Infinity Planet being approved on on my bingo card because I don't think it will be.
Well,
I
if they want to build it before the Olympics, they want to start soon.
Yeah, you've only got 7 years. So not a long time to build an entire theme park and get it established and iron out any of the kinks and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I would say rejection is more likely on the bingo card.
Yeah.
I don't think they approve this.
Um, what
I
do
don't
we
think
think Dream World is going to have for their little, a couple of their squares?
Um, if we're talking specifically about 2026, construction begins on the Dreamworld um, precinct around it, like the whole retail and
Oh yeah, yeah.
accommodation space. I would not be shocked to see construction begin, like as in just groundbreaking.
Has it been approved? I know they were talking about it getting fast tracked, but I don't know if it was ever approved or not.
Well, that's why I don't think it has, but that's why I believe groundbreaking would be a good square there because I feel like it has been fast tracked. So I feel like a an approval in the coming months
Hmm.
is not out of the question, and that 2026 is plenty of time for them to break first to turn over the first sod.
Because that's going
Um,
to be a multi-year construction process. So
100%, yeah.
there will be an actual attraction introduced in that time before that even opens up.
Yes, I'm a little cautious with Dreamworld at the moment because I feel like perhaps we are going to be waiting until
Closer to
20.
the Olympics for a thrill coaster.
Yeah, and I feel like in terms of their next attraction, I'm thinking even mid to late 2027
Yeah.
because I'm thinking a little bit like, they've built a lot, they've spent a lot in the last few years.
King Claw is their 2026 investment. Let's just call it that.
Yeah. So I think
They want
absolutely
return on that investment
I would not be
first.
shocked to see nothing new in 2026.
Yeah, same.
I would actually predict that there will be nothing new in 2026.
But as far as announcements go,
Yeah, it is they have been quite under the Greg Yong era, they have been quite they announce things quite early.
yep.
So I would not be shocked if we get an announcement in mid to late 2026 for something coming in 2027. I don't think it'll be huge because I think that maybe they build up towards a bigger investment towards 2032. Um,
Which do you think will
actually,
be
an
first to be replaced first, Gold Coaster or Motor Coaster?
announcement of a motor coaster replacement.
You reckon it's Motor Coaster?
I think there is something to the 20-year expiry date on Intamin products.
Right.
I think there's something to that, and I think motor coaster opened 2007.
Mm,
I think 2027 is
final year.
its final year. I think we get mid to late 2026, we get an announcement of a motor coaster replacement or renovation, which I think is less likely, but still a possibility.
I am also going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think Big Brother will get renewed for another season.
Okay.
Um, certainly, it won't. If it does get renewed, it will be on this same temporary kind of thing, and it won't be a proper facility like it was in the 2000s.
I have this feeling that TV, in terms of free to air TV, they're
It's a dying medium.
it is a dying medium, and they're trying to find the few scraps of
I think the phrase
diamonds in
is
the rough.
clutching at straws.
Yeah, they're very much clutching at whatever's going to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So I suspect that I'm cautious at this stage to say that it'll won't get renewed because if something meme worthy happens in the remainder of season one, then I think they'll clutch at that.
Right.
Um, let's say something happens that goes viral on TikTok. They'll cling on to that. They'll be like, it's an ounce of relevance. Um, that is going to guarantee us some ratings because the people that were obsessed with that meme will come back for a taste of a little bit more and to see if something equally funny is going to happen.
It's a lot to bank on a meme.
It is, but I don't think that free to air TV has much else to bank on.
Mm, point.
Um,
I mean, if you completely recast the host of Australian Survivor with a well beloved host getting ousted by a former contestant.
Mm,
They're not making the smartest of decisions over at Channel 10.
no, I think it's the I would agree with you that at this stage I don't think it will get renewed for a season two. My only hesitance with that is that um if it manages to find some social media hype, they'll probably try to capitalize on that.
Mm.
Whether it's a meme or just, something that even slightly goes across well with like a TikTok crowd.
Yeah.
Um I feel like there's a chance, slight chance.
Wet and Wild, they're already sort of rebuilding that one slide tower, aren't they? So,
I
I
feel like
don't.
it's cheating to put Zoom Zone opens on our bingo card because honestly,
It's sort of a given.
surely
But
on an
like, I
actual
don't see
episode.
them announcing anything further.
No, I don't. No, no. That's the one park where I'm not actually shocked to see years go by without
Yeah.
anything really happening.
Well, because it's summer plus water slides equals a guaranteed crowd.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
a theme park, you need something new to thrill people.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine we're going to see anything new from them.
No. I would honestly, I'd expect something new from freaking Paradise Country before I expected anything new out of Wet and Wild.
True. Thoughts on whether we'll see anything new out of White Water World anytime soon?
Yeah, it's a good one because they're already phasing some things out, weren't they?
Yeah, well, they've also had it. They've phased some things out, and they also had a bunch of slides that were out of action long term.
Mm.
I know Triple Vortex was down for a long, long time.
I
Um,
will confess I've never set foot in White Water World, so
it's all right.
I don't actually
Needs
know
some
much about it.
shade,
Yeah.
but other than that, it's all right. Um, yeah, Triple Vortex was down for an extended period. I think it's back up as of now.
Okay.
Um, but they haven't added anything in years to White Water World. And I know that Greg doesn't particularly like White Water World.
I know he's specifically said they have no intention of putting a lazy river in.
Yeah, which to me feels like a mistake. I think lazy rivers are such wide appeal.
Mm. But like he wants things that are unique and don't exist at other parks.
True. But what can replace that? Like I I love lazy rivers so much. They are so honestly,
The little sunburn machines they are.
if I'm dragged into going to a water park, I'll go on the thrill slides like once each and then be like, right, catch me in the lazy river. Like
Just lather me up in sunscreen and just let me bake.
I'm done. I'm just gonna be floating around this lazy river for hours. Like catch me there. That's basically it. Whitewater, that is definitely also the thing that Whitewater World is missing the most. They've got the kids play areas, they've got the thrill slides, they've got the family slides, they've got pretty much everything for a water park of that scale. They don't have the chill out spaces. They've got
They've got
Cave
the
of
little splash
Waves.
pad thing.
They've got the Cave of Waves, but wave pools to me are always just full of idiots.
Sure.
Oh my god, they're always just full of idiots. So I they need to me another just chill out swim space.
Mm.
Um I don't think they'll announce that anytime soon. But if I was in charge, that would be it. Lazy, if not a lazy river, then another like large scale pool space or whatever.
Mm. Straying away from the Gold Coast parks, what do we see on the bingo card for non-Gold Coast theme parks?
Um, oh god.
Bounty's Revenge should probably be opening by this
Bounty's
season,
Revenge opening, yeah, that's a big thing.
but I think that's a given already. Like,
Yeah.
I would say that's a bingo card worthy.
Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Well, no, not quite devil's advocate, but I'm gonna say something evil
Okay,
that I hope is not right.
okay,
Luna Park Sydney closes another ride,
wouldn't surprise me. Like, aside from Hair Razor,
and also aside from Bug, because I'm assuming Bug is gone. I
yeah.
think the only reason it's not also removed from the site is just they don't care about it.
What are you
Um,
thinking's on the chopping block?
I think I don't think that there's anything specific. I think it's whatever has the next big technical
Whatever
issue.
goes wrong.
Yep, something will go wrong, and they'll choose to cut it to cut costs.
Ferris wheel,
if I had to bet on one, Tango Train.
right?
Um, what can I? Wait, no, I'm not under contract from them not to spill the beans. They can't do anything to me. Um, when I was still operating at Luna Park, there was an incident on Tango Train where someone was able to step out of the restraints
Oh,
while the ride was in motion.
oh, geez.
And as a response to that, they, the park, this was while they were still under previous management, by the way. The park panicked
Right.
and went, "Oh shit, we've got like a potential incident on our hands here." Nothing actually happened. Like the guy was fine. Nothing actually happened in terms of that incident. But they realized very quickly, like, oh, under different circumstances, this could be a potential
Yeah, 100%.
incident. Um, and so what they were gonna try to do was get the manufacturer SBF to add seat dividers to limit the amount of space that you had to move around the lap bar.
That's like
But
half the thrill of that thing, is how much you're sliding up and down the bench seat.
yeah, it was gonna ruin the ride. But what they did actually ruined it even worse because while they were waiting to see if SBF could add seat dividers, they added a seatbelt, a lap seatbelt that had to go across all of the riders in the car.
Mm.
And there were so many problems with that idea. Oh my god, it sucked so bad. It first of all, the level that it sat at where attendants had to check it
Oh, made for
was
some awkward fumbling.
exactly the place that you do not want to be reaching
Oh, yep.
towards guests at. Um,
Much like the
secondly,
Volare seatbelts.
exactly. Oh my god, the Volare seatbelts, don't get me started. Um, but then
Sexual harassment, panda.
yeah, I'm just trying to do my job. Please don't accuse me of sexually assaulting you. Um, but also they were like they were awful to like get. They took so much time to get done up
Mm.
properly. You would have to go around once making sure everybody's seatbelt was done up properly, which would take you forever and would be so awkward because to check it, you would have to reach down onto their laps. And then you would have to go around and do the lap bar checks, which would have just been the previous whole operating procedure. So
Mm.
like it was just that whole seatbelt thing was just added on to the original operating procedure. So the amount of time that it took to run a cycle on Tango Train more than doubled immediately
Jeez.
just because of those seatbelts.
And that thing has a long queue.
Yeah, always. Especially with the added issue of the whole wild versus mild thing where they
Oh,
run it on two
yeah.
different cycles for whether you want to ride it as a thrill ride or a more family friendly ride. Yeah, those lines got ridiculous. It actually became the worst place to be. We would get operators complaining all the time about being on Tango Train. Um, but like it was just the quickest solution that they could find to prevent that incident from happening while they tried to find a more permanent solution.
Mm.
And since then, it has been downhill for a lot of Luna Park's operations. I think that incident panicked them, and they scrambled to try and prevent similar incidents across the park. And then new operations came in, and then new owners came in, and then they were also kind of like, oh shit, freaked out about um possible incidents. And they, yeah, just that's when they kind of banned GoPros and did all that kind of stuff, just like so panicked about the possibility of a potential incident.
Right.
Yeah. It all stemmed from that Tango Train incident, because
Okay.
that is what that guy stepping out of the Tango Train while it was in motion freaked Luna Park the fuck out, and they went crazy.
Sure.
Um,
That's a shame.
look, it's it's a serious close call, and
100%.
they justifiably wanted to prevent something from like that from happening again. Um, but the lasting impact that that's had on operations park wide has been very noticeable.
Yeah.
Um, from a park that I would have previously said is possibly the best in Australia in terms of operational efficiency and everything. They're definitely not there anymore.
Um, what are we thinking about? Do we think anything's going to happen with any of the regional parks?
Magic Mountain never do anything.
No.
Gombaya
Geelong?
World, Gombaya World, I don't think will do anything
No.
again. I don't think. I think Project Zero is starting to come back to bite them.
Right.
Sadly, I'm really sad about that. Um,
Because they've put a lot of love into it.
what what makes me so sad about it is that I feel like it was such a good investment. Putting a bit of love into it and buying it for a small park of that scale at the time, such a good idea. What they were probably banking on was that it would get them a really good return in terms of profit, because they would be by far the best theme park in the Melbourne area by having Project Zero and TNT,
Yeah.
and that they would be able to then move on and build more and do better in the years ahead. And if Project Zero didn't last that long, well, then it's not the end of the world, because hopefully by the time it kicks the bucket, then you've managed to build off its profits.
Mhm.
From what I'm hearing, it's already having some issues,
Right.
um, and it seems like the profits and the attendances were not what they expected. And I'm just, if that's true, if what I'm hearing on that front is true, that's devastating to me, because I was really, really encouraged by what Gumbaya World were doing.
Yeah.
And
It's
if they've been discouraged from continuing further, or if they can't continue further because there's no money there or whatever the case may be, you know, I'll be devastated. I really felt like it was a small park that had so much potential to grow into something special.
I think the wisest decision they could make with their budget and with, what space they've got is to put in one of those portable, like, log flume things, sort
Mm.
of like at Aussie World. because they
I
need a
would
cool
say
down ride that's not necessarily part of the water park.
I would say I rode a Zamperla log flume at Connieland, and I was shocked by how small it was and how compact it was, but how good it was.
Mm,
Build it, do it,
yeah,
theme it a little bit to give it a bit of appeal, and you'll have an immediate hit in terms of family rides. Um, you can't go wrong. No one would hate it. Like
yeah.
it'd be a great little family ride. I don't think it would cost them an arm and a leg.
No, not at all.
It'd be it'd be not too expensive. I
Uh,
what I worry about is that it was when they were purchased and turned from Gumbaya Park to Gumbaya World.
mm-hmm.
It's a group of investors, none of which have any theme park experience.
Yeah,
So for the last for the entire existence of my channel, I've been screaming their praises and saying like, here's a bunch of people with money willing to kind of try and turn a small regional park into a bigger theme park project. Hell yeah, I love that from them. And now that it seems to have not quite gone as they expected, I think they don't really know what to do. And now I'm worried because I'm like, ugh,
I, ju-
like
I,
do something,
I
do
just think they
something.
need to increase their offering of the Oz Adventure area,
Yeah.
but they can't go big ticket like they did with those two things they had really good luck with. They need to go a flume and either a wild mouse or a Zyklon of some description.
Well, that's kind of what I mean is like do something. You
Yeah,
don't have to do that again. You don't have to do the whole, oh, we're going to build like full on big scale roller coasters again.
but just increase your offering.
Do something, offer something new.
Yeah,
Um, get in the market, buy a secondhand ride or a cheap ride, whatever it needs to be, but invest smart. Like a
mm,
flume, I think is a fantastic choice for them right now. Um, like you said, an opportunity to cool off that is not necessarily part of the water park. Um, will really appeal to families. I don't think there's any downside to installing a flume. Even if they didn't theme it at all, I feel like a flume would still be a mild success.
yep.
Like I would hope that they would theme it
Mm.
because they can buy a world.
I
I
mean, even
find their
Plunger
theming pretty
Aussie
cheap.
World has some light theming to it.
Yeah, like just you don't need to go over the top, but I would hope that they would theme it a little bit.
Mm.
But you can't go wrong with the flume.
Yeah.
Um, they have the space for it,
Mm.
so
And I just think
please.
like a wild mouse or even a looping Zyklon or a regular Zyklon.
I definitely think a good thrill coaster would be good for them. I think a
Take
wild
some of the
mouse is
pressure off of TNT and Project Zero.
yeah, well, TNT is a really, really good family coaster. Project Zero is very intimidating. I don't think it's a great coaster, but it's like it fits the high adrenaline extreme market.
Yep.
Um, so I think a thrill coaster in terms of like something at the level of a wild mouse,
Yep.
it would be a good choice for them. Um, and yeah, like you're saying, you can get a spinning wild mouse or something like that pretty cheap. Um, it's not a huge investment to get a pretty basic Zamperla or Revachon spinning wild mouse or a looping Zyklon or a standard Zyklon or whatever. I
Mm.
would hope they wouldn't go with the Zyklon because Zyklons do feel cheap as well.
Yep.
Um, I would rather
But
they went with
let's
like a
figure out
spinning.
what budget they've got.
Yeah. Look, if that's all they've got the budget for, then I fully understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with a Zyklon. They just feel cheap.
Mm.
So I'd rather, in terms of maintaining that image going forward and hoping that they can boost those crowd numbers back up, I'd rather they went with something like a. If the budget's really not there, then go with a Ravishon spinning mouse.
Sure.
Like it's because they're probably just as cheap as a Zyklon would be, but they do feel a little more. upmarket.
Mm.
Um, Not quite as fairground, I guess.
But fairground just might be what they've got to deal with. Like, it's they've already got Rebel, which is quite fairgroundy, as well as the tree swing.
Very true. Very true.
Um, so they can get away with fairground as long as they put a little bit more than the bare minimum of effort in theming it. Like
Yeah.
even Mining Racer has some nice landscaping elements to it. There's like, it's a little
It's a
shed with a
really
snake on the roof.
nicely
It's nothing major, but it's something.
it's a really nicely landscaped and themed little kiddie coaster.
Totally.
I love it.
So, and
I
that's all they
love the
really
Mining
need to
Racer
do.
coaster. Such a good little kiddie coaster. Um, yeah, I can't help I can't help but worry about Gambaya World at the moment, just because it's now like that TNT Project Zero investment was also 2022.
Yeah.
So that's we're also now 3 years down the line. They also haven't, like SeaWorld, they haven't done anything else since then. And that feels a little more to me like they they took a big gamble and it didn't pay off.
Mm. I think the
And
big problem for them is no one knows they exist.
mm,
They haven't advertised the park properly, and it's hard to get to.
it is very hard to get to. Holy shit, it's hard to get to. Um,
Like I've spoken to so many of my Melbourne friends, and they're like, "What the fuck is Gambaya World?" No
yeah,
one knows it exists.
such a hard place to market a park
Mm.
because it's like it's almost so far from Melbourne that you can't even call it Melbourne.
No, it's not. It's very outer suburbs.
It is so far out of Melbourne. Um, yeah, like it's we drove there I've only been to Gambaya World once. Um, and we got a rental car and drove there. And it's like an hour's drive because we
Mm.
were staying in a city um that night that we stayed in Melbourne to go to Luna Park Melbourne for because they were only open like the 6 to 10 sessions that they do.
Yeah.
So we went to we literally flew down to Melbourne, picked up the rental car, went to Luna Park Melbourne 6 till 10 in the evening, and then got up the next morning, checked out of our hotel, drove the rental car out to Gambaya World for the day, and then drove the rental car back, dropped it off, and flew out that evening. So it was like the quickest trip imaginable. But yeah, it's like an hour's trip out of the inner city
I
to
think that
get to Gambaya World by car, let alone by public transport.
what they need to do is they need to fill out their offering. So whether it's the flume and maybe the little mini coaster, just
Mm.
to at least fill the gap in case one of their other coasters goes down. Um, and then spend the rest of their budget on marketing and hopefully getting a better public transport option out there
From a
from
marketing
either Pakenham or
perspective,
Tynong stations.
yeah, absolutely. They need to improve the public transport offerings.
Hmm.
From a marketing perspective, I feel that they need to become a much better, because also they have to justify being an hour's drive versus a tram ride.
Yeah,
They need to become a much better theme park option than Luna Park Melbourne. I would already say they're a marginally better option, but they need to become so much better that people would rather drive an hour to get to Gambaya World than they would take the tram to get to Luna Park Melbourne.
they're almost there. They've got a great wildlife park. They've got a great water park. They just need to make that theme park bit better.
Yeah.
And also, I think that there's probably, a good argument on need to delineate better between Oz Adventure and the kids area
Well,
because you've got two gates that sort of lead into the same area.
because the general public aren't differentiating between like specific coaster models or anything.
No.
It's you've just got to become a more appealing park, as in you've got more to offer, more rides, better rides than Luna Park Melbourne.
And
And
market yourself as that. Victoria's top theme park destination.
Yeah,
Victoria's top thrill ride destination, like something.
yeah. Be just make sure people know that you're better, and
Yeah.
make sure people know that, yeah, look, maybe the drive is longer than what the tram ride would be to get to Luna Park, Melbourne, but
But the trip out to Rudy Hill for um, Wonderland wasn't exactly a little hop
no,
on a tram
and I
either.
think that all of our Aussie cities have the same problem where a lot of the theme parks or the land available for theme parks is so far out of the inner city
Yeah.
that it can become hard to compete with other tourist attractions that that just have managed to somehow establish themselves closer to the inner city.
Yeah.
Like I think that's going to be forever Sydney's problem.
Yeah, for sure.
If the Oscars group managed not to drive Luna Park Sydney into the ground, I don't think they'll face any competition anytime soon
No.
because the only space that there is to build any sort of theme park in Sydney is out west, and like no one's going to go out that far unless what they were offering was miles better than Luna Park Sydney.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
my
so
my
convenient to get to.
my only hope is that the new airport
Yeah.
might bring some, you know, a new urban center that might give some hope, you know, some added value to that land kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, I think out of all the parks that don't have a coaster so far, Funfields is the most likely to add something coaster adjacent.
Aren't they rumored to be getting an alpine coaster?
I did not hear any confirmation in that regard.
I think I don't know if we've discussed it here before on Total
Possibly.
Baloney, but they've been rumored for quite a while now to be getting a coaster, which has been rumored to be an alpine coaster. Which I'm slightly disappointed by.
Yeah, we've already got two, or one and a half now. So
I'm well, even just beyond like whether or not alpine coasters are a good product and whether and how many we've got in Australia.
it's no longer a unique prospect.
Yeah, I really also thought I thought Funfields was taking a different direction.
Mm.
So when I heard that they were potentially getting a coaster, I was more hopeful of something more along the lines of a family coaster.
Yep.
That they might be adding, you know, a family coaster from Vekoma or a you know whatever it might be. I was kind of more hopeful that they were leaning into that theme park rather than the I don't even know what to call them that kind of adventure park
Mm.
um vibe that we seem to have here in Australia that doesn't really exist anywhere else. Like your
It's like we're a
you
theme park, but we can't afford a coaster. Like it's like so we're not quite a theme park. It's funny.
yeah.
You hear theme park, you expect at least one roller coaster,
The
and
and I hate
unless
to
you've
use
got a
them as an
roller coaster,
example.
you're not really a theme park.
I hate to use them as an example because I love them to death because they're quite close to where I live. But the Big Banana
Mm.
is the perfect example
It's a fun
of
park.
like kind of existing on the fringes of theme park, but not really. Like, oh yeah, we've got laser tag and mini golf and an ice skating rink, and we'll build an alpine coaster and a toboggan and a water park. But we won't ever venture into that realm of building a proper ride and like naming it and giving it a theme or anything.
Well, that's the thing. They don't really have much to go in the way of theming unless you start inventing Buddy Banana and his gang of fruity mates.
Well, I would have loved them to do that. I would have absolutely loved them to come up with some characters or um you know come up with an idea for a ride that did more than just was kind of a you know you go to a place like Coffs Harbour and there's not a lot to do there People go there for beach holidays.
Mm.
You're spending most of your time at the beach.
But also,
And
you're the home of arguably Australia's flagship big thing.
true, true,
Make
absolutely
it a
true.
destination as opposed to a roadside oddity.
Which is what shocks me about the fact that they got rid of the monorail.
Mm.
Um, because to me, I can understand why the Big Banana has not like evolved into a proper theme park yet. I can fully understand why they've maintained that kind of fringe status of like fun park.
Yeah.
The market's not there. It's not quite not enough people go to Coffs Harbour. I've always gone to Coffs Harbour, but that's only because it's literally a 2.5 hour drive from me. Like the market's not there for a proper theme park. But the big thing, the Big Banana as a big thing, it started out as a tourist trap for a banana farm.
Mm.
So you'd think that out of all of the things that remained, all of the things that managed to retain their status and be important to the business, it would be like the plantation tour and the rides around the banana farm, which the monorail was one of those. I'm saddened that it's gone. I'm really sad that it's gone. The Big Banana monorail is one of the forget Thunderbolt, forget Bush Beast. One of the things that I missed that I am most sad about is the Big Banana monorail.
Complete with terrifying underwater bunyip.
Holy shit, that's the highlight of the fucking ride. That what the who came up with that idea? Why? I don't know, but I wish I had experienced it. And my big question, which full disclosure, I haven't seen Dane's podcast episode with the Big Banana CEO. Did he ask this question? Is the bunyip still there?
I don't remember if he asked that specifically. I think it might have been something like that. And I think yes, it is underwater.
Well, it was. I know the lagoon is still there, and the tracks are still there because they
Yeah,
didn't tear down the. There are
I'm
several.
not sure if I'm getting sort of mixing it up with Dane's podcast and that video I was watching about all of the different animatronic bunyips in Australia.
Because the tracks are all still there. They didn't tear down all of the monorail tracks. They're still also call it a monorail. It has two rails.
Yeah.
Holy shit, fuck off. But um so there's several places around the park where the tracks still exist and the lagoon is still there. Um so we know that like the demolition of that ride was not like complete. They left some things there to rot. I the question I've always wanted answered is it there? Is it still at the bottom of the lagoon? Just for the sake of all of our what's the name of the phobia for
Submechanophobia.
submechanophobia? That's the one. For all of our submechanophobia friends, we need to know for sure.
Um, I think that's a good little note to finish on.
Absolutely.
Until next time, where can they find you, Jake?
You can find me at YouTube at Maloney's Coasters. If you are a content creator who needs some off-ride footage of coasters, you can check out Maloney's Coasters off-ride footage on YouTube. I tend to add most coasters that I've filmed to that collection for you to use for free. Where can they find you, Kieran?
You can find me at Ejector Bear Time on YouTube. You can also see all of my non-coaster related side quest adventures at Ejector Bear Time Sidetracked on YouTube. You can also find me on Blue Sky at ejectorbeartime.bsky.social and As we speak, Theme Park Ogre has uploaded a video called Is King Claw About to Open at Dreamworld? And there are sneak peeks of staff in the seats of the ride.
Oh, hell yeah. While I'm thinking about it, I'm also on Blue Sky. I don't post anywhere near as often as Kieran, but you can find me at maloney'scoasters.bsky.social.
And until next time, you've been listening
To an absolute bunch.
of total baloney.
Baloney.
What
What
a
a
what a bunch! What
bunch!
a
What a
bunch! What a bunch! What a
bunch!